Morning, YouTube world, my fellow tribe members. It is 6:21 a.m. Today is Wednesday, the 21st February 2018, Central Standard Time, planet Earth, Milky Way system in the third dimension as best we understand it. Thank you, Newtonian physics. A friend of mine was lamenting yesterday that the school district where she lives and works is seriously considering arming some of its staff following the most recent school shooting in Florida. And this person is a wonderful person and very, very artsy, very self-styled hippie. Owns a photography studio, just a very kind, caring Buddhist soul. Admitted Buddhist soul, I'm not assuming that. And very nurturing, loving person. And sees firearms as a danger to children. Now, I don't know if this person has ever shot any firearms. I don't know. I do know that I'm going to invite this person as soon as it stops raining for a week and dries up a little bit to go shoot some guns so that we can learn and have an honest conversation about this. But her issue was, we're going to spend money to arm teachers and train teachers, but our school district doesn't even have an art program. To which I would add, that school district is in the process of spending $1 million right now to renovate their football field. This is not a large district. This district does not have $1 million. Where the $1 million came from, I don't know. Probably a combination of bonds and loans, neither of which I'm crazy about, but hey, I'm not on the city council or the school board, so it doesn't matter whether or not I like it. And I don't live there, so I don't have any civic say in what happens there, even though our business is based there. So my question is, why can't we have both? Why can't we have a secure school facility with armed teachers, should they choose to be armed, at no burden to them, I would add, as a function of their job, as part of their responsibilities? Just like an officer of the peace, they are trained in deadly force, and they are licensed to carry deadly force by the state or the jurisdiction or wherever. And I would bet money, since we're in Texas, that a lot of these teachers already are concealed carry people, right? They're already licensed. Which is a brief aside. What Supreme Court decision was that says states and federal government should not license or regulate rights? They cannot license and regulate rights. So, yet you still have to go get a concealed carry permit. Now, granted, I think everybody should have training, but do you need permission from your ruler to carry a weapon? Question mark. Make no mistake, they're your ruler. Try not paying them taxes and see what happens. Other guys with guns are going to show up at your house and say, give us all your money, give us your house, or you're going to jail. So, anyway, why can't we have both? If you manage the budget properly, I think you should have armed teachers, as long as the teacher chooses to be armed. I don't think it should be something that somebody should be forced to do, because I don't want somebody who's not comfortable with a gun with a gun. But I also think you should have a healthy and robust arts program and music program and, whatever else. The artistic things that children do at school are really good for them developmentally, right? And the world needs, Audie Murphys, right, and Chesty Pullers. The world also needs the Bob Rosses of the world, if you'll excuse the metaphor, right? We need creative, artistic people, right? Without rough men with guns willing to do harm on your behalf in the middle of the night, we don't have a protected society. And I would submit, without people that bring culture and enlightenment to a society, we don't have a society worth protecting. That's my opinion. One man's opinion, right? It takes all kinds. It would be very boring if all of us were exactly the same. And I think that within a public school system, you should not skew too heavily one way or the other. For example, $1 million for a football field, but no arts program. And I played football, okay? So come at me, bro. I was a very stout human being on the football field. Right tackle and nose guard, in case you were wondering. And I loved nose guard because when I played, we were allowed to use our fingers and our hands. I would just pick people up and throw them out of my way. And God forbid you were holding the football, because I had no problem smashing you into the ground over and over and over again. Another brief aside. But point being, why can't we have both? Right? We've talked about this. On the macro, on the big picture, everything's black and white. No compromise. Be convicted. Know where you stand. Have morals. Have ethics. And have precision waypoints to navigate by for what you believe and why you believe it. And be able to defend your beliefs. If you can't defend them, it's not a belief. It's a feeling. Okay? On the micro, everything, all of it is compromise. It's all compromise. We negotiate all the time in our lives on a person-to-person level. All the time. If you're married, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you have children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He who rules with an iron fist is often thrown off the throne. Those are short-lived dictatorships, right? So you have to compromise. On the micro. On the macro, be convicted. I think we ought to have both. I think as a healthy school system, you should have both. It's like having math without science. One man's opinion. But I do think teachers should be armed, and I do think that the arts should be funded, and I do think you should have a football field. But if the field you have is perfectly fine, maybe let's not act decadent and tear it apart in the middle of an extremely rainy late winter, early spring, which is its own disaster, and spend $1 million to put it back together again. And I guarantee you, knowing what I know about the construction world, guarantee you that 1.0 million because of this weather is going to look more like 1.3, 1.4 million. So, food for thought. Y'all chime in, let me know what you think. Talk to you guys later. It has been extraordinarily busy around here. I am on day 23, without a day off, averaging between 12 and 15 hours a day right now, trying to get everything done that has to get done around here. So it's not the end of the world. I one time did 7 days a week, 12 hours per day, plus 4 hours a day commuting for 10 and a half months straight. So if I can do that, I can do this. Y'all holler at me, tell me what you think. I'm gonna pilot this 2500 northbound, and we'll see what happens. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.